Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Alexander, you viewer are you. We will be joined by the Golden Loon. We already are joined by the yard maintenance specialists with their leaf blowers, so don't mind the noise of the machines. Anyway, today is Wednesday, aka Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. This show is about interesting and important events that happened today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a 29-page document, so a little on the shorter side on average. 29 used to be average. Now it's short. Ain't that a kick in the head? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Golden Loon here.
Yeah. So because we didn't really get the time earlier today because it was so dang hot, which is like pretty interesting because in the title we have Vietnam unified, not Vietnam but Vietnam.
Yeah.
Slavery Abolition Act, hottest day. And more.
Today?
So, no, but like in the past it was on this calendar date. So, and here's a thumbnail and all that stuff.
Cool.
And we'll go over that some other point. We're already on the show here. Starting us on the year 259, Saint Dionysius was elected as Pope, succeeding Sixtus II. So we have election of Pope Dionysius after the death of Pope Sixtus II in the persecutions of the Emperor Valerian in the previous year. Oh, so it sounds like he was killed. You know, this just says, succeeding Sixtus.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he might have stepped down. We don't know. There's the other article. Not only is Sixtus dead, but possibly murdered in the persecutions.
That's not good.
The death of Pope Sixtus II in the persecutions of Emperor Valerian in the previous year. Does that not sound like murder? Yeah. 1099. Godfrey of Bouillon was elected the first defender of the Holy Sepulchre of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during the First Crusade. Yep, we need one of those. 1139, Pope Innocent II was ambushed and taken captive by the forces of Roger II of Sicily at Galosio while trying to invade the Kingdom of Sicily. He sounds like he swung the first punch there. I'm sorry, I forgot about your fan earlier.
That's okay.
My bad. The box is right there by the shoes.
Yep.
In 1209, we have a massacre at Béziers, the first major military action of the Albigensian Crusade. Now, why is it a massacre? Let's do a surface level scratching here. Here we go. So 20,000 deaths. That is a massacre. So let's start this off. The underbar section here. So we have massacre at Béziers. So put that in there. The Albigensian Crusade was initiated in the Kingdom of France at the behest of Pope Innocent III. Its purpose was to squash the growing Cathar movement, a religious sect challenging the teachings of the Catholic Church. The movement flourished mainly in the Languedoc region of what later became southern France. At the time, the Kingdom of France controlled only part of what is now northern France, so, yada, yada, yada. So, basically, it was a religious thing, and they murdered a whole bunch of people.
Great.
20,000.
It's amazing how religions can kill people.
Yeah, well, they still are to this day.
Yeah.
It's usually always from just one, though, So, for further reading on that, as you see, like I posted this link here, this and all the other links that we clipped throughout the show will appear in the underbar of the description after the live stream. We already have a lot of things down there, though, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition, the music in the background, our various sources, and a handful of other nifty little things. Moving on up, 1216, French Prince Louis began the siege of Dover Castle in Kent, England, later to abandon that October, influential in denying Louis the English throne. Huh. Okay, yeah. So the guy who was doing the sieging, this event ended up backfiring. It sounds like. 1227, a coalition of northeast German towns, counts, and princes defeated King Vladimir II of Denmark in the Battle of Bornhoved. 1298, English defeat the Scots in the Battle of Falkirk. From other source, it says Wars of Scottish Independence, Battle of Falkirk. King Edward I of England and his longbowmen defeated William Wallace and his Scottish Cistrons outside the town of Falkirk. So, that's a shame. Primary source didn't even mention William Wallace.
No.
That greatly substantiates.
I don't know who William Wallace is, but...
you remember Braveheart?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's William Wallace.
Oh, okay.
He was portraying him. The freedom guy.
Oh,
Freedom! They did do horrible things. Ultimately ended in execution with William Wallace. They dragged him naked through the streets for miles. They filleted his skin off of him while he was alive. I think at one point they set him on fire. Druid quartering. At one point, they had his beheaded head on a pike. I mean, like, they did a bunch of horrible things. Probably not all of that, but they did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, some of the things I mentioned was kind of like impossible to do with something else. You know, so like. Let's see here. 1306, King Philip the Fair ordered the expulsion of Jews out of France. So that doesn't sound very fair to me, you know. But unless he did something horrible.
Fair.
Yeah. You know, like life isn't fair. Like fair.
I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of weird names out there. I mean, there's Alexander the Great. There's King Archibald the Lame. I don't know. Like I made that last one up. But, we've covered a lot of people with names like that. There's been a lot of greats. There's Vlad the Impaler,
Yeah.
So, 1306. We got that one. 1342, St. Mary Magdalene's flood was the worst such event on record for Central Europe. So I'm going to look this up here really quick. We do have an image, though. It's a very small artist renditioning, but it just, it looks like the land turned into an ocean.
Yeah.
Because we have people and cattle and animals and what appears to be the top of a church, and trees.
That would be really deep if that's the top of a church.
Yes. Well, but let's look this up here really quick. Pardon me. St. Mary Magdalene's flood. All right, let's see here. It was the largest recorded flood in Central Europe, with water levels exceeding those of the 2002 European floods. I don't know how deep those were. Well, the event killed 232 people. The 2002 floods.
Oh, my.
And so you look at how deep that is, that photo.
Yeah.
So, it appears that after a prolonged hot and dry period, continuous rainfall occurred, lasting several consecutive days and amounting to more than half of the mean yearly precipitation. Since the dry soil wasn't able to absorb such amounts of water, the surface runoff washed away large areas of fertile soil and caused huge inundations, destroying houses, mills, and bridges. In Würzburg, the then famous Sternbrückli, the stone bridge, was washed away, and in Cologne it is said that a rowing boat could pass over the city's fortifications. Whoa! So that's the walls.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. That's not good.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Saint Mary Magdalene's flood. Well, gee, Mary Magdalene, maybe you shouldn't flood.
The
like
craziness
that.
with water is an absolute necessity.
Yeah.
Until you get too much, then it's absolutely destructive.
Yeah. It's too little is destructive. Too much is everything. Too little, too much is bad. Let's see here. A volume. Let's see. What was it? The volume of the eroded soil during the short incident, which lasted a few days, is determined to be more than 13 billion metric tons.
Ooh.
A volume that is washed away under normal climate conditions over a period of 2,000 years. So in one day, they washed away 2,000 years. That's ridiculous. I was trying to find a death toll, but I couldn't. 1443, Battle of St. Jacob under Schiele, army of the old Swiss Confederacy, defeated an allied force of Zurich and Habsburg troops at the gates of Zurich. Without the means to lay siege to the city, they withdrew. Nothing else to do. 1456, Hungarian army under Jean Hyundai defeated the forces of Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II and ended the siege of Belgrade, also known as Nandor-Fehérvár, halting Ottoman expansion in Europe for 70 years. They won't go away. They won't stop.
Yeah.
To this day they're still, lapping at our shores. 1484, Battle of Lochman Fair, a 500-man raiding party led by Alexander Stewart, Duke of Albany, and James Douglas, the 9th Earl of Douglas, were defeated by Scots forces loyal to Albany's brother James III of Scotland. Douglas himself was captured as well. Dang. 1489, Tractate Nidda, a Talmudic edition, was first printed. I'm going to look this up here really quick. So, Jerusalem, Talmud, Nidda, Sephara Library. Okay. Observations on a little-known edition of Tractate Nidda. Go away. Well, there's this. Okay, well, if anybody wants to read this, okay, let's see here. Talmud Nidda. Put that in there if anybody wants to actually read this. What else do we got here? 1515, in the year 1515. First Congress of Vienna settled issues between Poland and Holy Roman Empire and demonstrated the Habsburgs' growing influence. 20 years later, Christians captured in Tunis an uprising against Admiral Barbarossa. 50-day 2, William I of Orange left Antwerp, why can't I read that, for Delft, where he established his residence and continued to lead the Dutch revolt against Spanish rule. Whoa, how swanky, 1587, 500 years, well, no, 400 years before my birth. Not 500.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it'd be 2087. Second English colony formed in Roanoke Island off North Carolina. So, according to other source, the Roanoke colony, a second group of English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island off North Carolina to reestablish the deserted colony. So, I've talked with you a couple times. Do you remember the whole Roanoke thing?
I'm trying to think. I know of it.
It was when, this says reestablish the deserted colony. It was deserted because we've covered this before already. They left. And then they came back, like the people on the ship, to do some, like whatever it is that they're doing, the colony was established, and then they went back to the homeland, leaving the colonists there and everything. But when they came back, like everything was in a state as if like everybody just up and left. There was food on the table, there was it wasn't like still warm or anything. It wasn't as if they just missed them, but there was evidence that they just up and left, and it's believed that. That the entire colony, either they were killed by the natives, which there was no signs of struggle. They all died, which there's no bodies, or they just up and left and joined the natives. Apparently there's the word Roanoke carved onto a tree by a knife or whatever.
Ah.
So it's a huge mystery. I'm just gonna see if they have it here. There's background. Armada's Balor expedition, Lane colony, voyage, establishment of the colony, exploration, hostilities and food shortages, evacuation, Greenville's detachment, lost colony. Despite the desertion of the Lane colony, Rylak was persuaded by Halkialeke, trying to find the section where, it says here that they decided to relocate. So I'm just going to put this in the underbar. This is going to require a Roanoke colony. It requires some more focus study that we can't afford on the show.
Yeah.
1598, William Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice was entered on the Stationer's Register by decree of Queen Elizabeth. The Stationer's Register licensed printed works, giving the Crown tight control over all published material. I don't like that. 1632, foundation was laid in Madrid for Bueno Retiro, what a name, a palace for King Philip IV. His retirement house, Bueno Retiro, or Buen Retiro? Retiro? Oh. I do have an image there. Is that it? I'm not sure. But that is a thing. Hold on, let me look this up here. That is it. All right. So this is basically the palace.
Yeah. Quite a spread.
That is huge.
Yeah.
We do have other images here. This is apparently it on the waterfront right there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it looks like, this is the river right here. Or something. I'm not sure. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't tell if there is a river right next to it or not. There's structures here. I don't know what that is. Anyway, moving on up, 1648, 10,000 Jews of Polino were murdered in Chmielnik massacre during Kolonski uprising.
Good grief.
Yeah, I couldn't, what year was that, 1632? It's,
16.
Yeah, 1632. There's this. They took it out. Foundation, actually, no, 1648, here it is, okay. Chmielnik massacre during this is the rare words I can't pronounce here. Then we have 1648 or 1686. The city of Albany in New York was chartered. So Albany, New York, was formerly chartered as a municipality by Governor Thomas Dongan.
Getting darn close to Canada there, mate.
Mate?
I don't know where mate came from, but
I don't know what all that's about either, eh? You're not from the South, buddy. You're from Australia. Not Australia. Now you have me all muffled up. So, yeah, there's an image right there of a map of Albany or Hudson or something. In 1706, the Acts of Union 1707 were agreed upon by commissioners from the Kingdom of England and the Kingdom of Scotland, which, when passed by each country's parliament, led to the creation of the Kingdom of Great Britain. So we're not there yet, but this is the beginning paces.
The kingdom.
So no longer just Britain, but the Kingdom of Great Britain and Scotland and Ireland. So I don't know why they're just listing one of them. I mean, it's already called Britain. It's not called the Kingdom of Great Britain because of Britain alone. 1731, Spain signed the Treaty of Vienna. I'll look this up here really quick. And we also have 1729, diamonds were found in Minas Gerais, Brazil. Oh, too bad diamonds aren't worth a damn thing. Outside of artificial inflation and all that stuff. How De Beers...
Well, perception.
Well, it's not just perception. Yeah, well, it's perception because of the De Beers Corporation. The whole thing about engagement rings, that's all marketing. People don't realize that that's not actually romantic tradition. That was a marketing campaign by the De Beers company, corporation, to sell more diamonds. Diamonds actually, when you look into it, diamonds are incredibly common. They are completely valueless. And Russia even showed that De Beers was trying to bully Russia at one point.
Yeah.
And Russia threatened to flood. Yeah, that's how much diamonds there are. Diamonds are one of the most common gems in the entire world. It's very easy to make.
But
you just
they
take
become
carbon.
valuable when you cut them.
Yeah, but then you could just cubic zirconium.
Well, that's a fake diamond.
Yeah, but unless you really look at it or have it looked at by somebody.
There's fake fur.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah. But let's see here. The Treaty of Vienna this marked the end of the Anglo-French alliance that dominated Europe since 1713. The Treaty of Utrecht replacing it. Since the 1713 Treaty of Utrecht, replacing it with the Anglo-Austrian alliance after Spain signed on July 22nd, 1731. Austria recognized Charles of Spain as the Duke of Parma and Piacenza. Okay, so it's just power shifting everything. Treaty of Vienna. All right. Moving on up to 1793, Alexander Mackenzie reached the Pacific Ocean, becoming the first European to complete a transcontinental crossing of Canada. Now, from other source, it says here he reached the Pacific Ocean, becoming the first recorded human to complete a transcontinental crossing of North America. And see, that's the point. First recorded human, natives could have unintentionally, crossed the entire thing at some point in their entire lives. Mm-hmm. Who's sitting there and documenting in that society? Something like that. It's whatever. You're just walking the land. No, but here's a map, I think, of what he did. Or something. It's a map, of North America. Oh yeah, here it is, the same thing right there. A map of America. Okay, so this is what they mapped out, not necessarily a map of where. Well, obviously, he had to be there to charter it out. But it's kind of what Washington did, the movie Young Washington, when he was going out and surveying and everything. Yeah. He was making a map. In 1796, Cleveland, Ohio, founded by General Moses Cleveland, originally called Cleveland. The public adopted the current name after a newspaper editor noticed the name was too long to fit the page. From other sources, it says surveyors of the Connecticut Land Company named an area in Ohio Cleveland after General Moses Cleveland, the superintendent of the surveying party. 1797, Battle of Santa Cruz de Tenerife, battle between Spanish and British naval forces during the French Revolutionary Wars. During the battle, Rear Admiral Nelson was wounded in the arm, and the arm had to be partially amputated.
Oh, man.
Yeah. 1802, Emperor Gialong conquered Hanoi and unified Vietnam, which had experienced centuries of feudal warfare. So, for hundreds of years, and this guy unified Vietnam, which eventually became Vietnam, but unfortunately then later got taken over by the French. But we spoke about yesterday when they partitioned it to North Vietnam, South Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. That was all French Indochina. 1805, during the Napoleonic Wars, War of the Third Coalition, Battle of Cape Finisterre, an inconclusive naval action was fought between a combined French and Spanish fleet under Admiral Pierre-Charles Villeneuve of France and a British fleet under Admiral Robert Calder. That was kind of a nothing article, so I should probably read the entire thing before I just mark stuff. 1812, the Duke of Wellington...
Good job, actually.
Thank you. 1812, the Duke of Wellington led an Anglo-Portuguese army to a decisive victory over Marshal Auguste de Marmont's French forces at the Battle of Salamanca in Spain, strengthening the Allied position in the Peninsular War. So we have from other source, 1812, Napoleonic Wars, Peninsular War, Battle of Salamanca, British forces led by Arthur Wellesley, later to be the Duke of Wellington, defeated French troops near Salamanca, Spain. 1833, the Slavery Abolition Act was passed in the British House of Commons, initiating the gradual abolition of slavery in most parts of the British Empire. Heck yes!
Yeah.
Yes! You know? Like, and see, what a lot of people don't realize is, and I'm gonna be lenient. I think it was 2014, but I'm gonna say 2004. But if you lived in the United Kingdom at any time from 2004 or prior, and you got taxed, some of that tax went to paying off. I think this is the act, because that put the entire empire in so much debt and damn near destroyed it.
Yeah.
To end slavery, Britain almost killed itself.
Wow.
Oh, and yeah, white man didn't do enough to end slavery. Okay, yeah, sure. You know, we freaking like how many people bled and died, you know, for rights that they already had.
Here also.
You know, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Worldwide,
Yeah.
You know, the people that get so much hate have done the most than anybody else to get rid of it. And it seems like the only people who are keeping it alive are the very people whose ancestors used to be in chains. That's just how it seems, you know? Oh. 1835, Smolny Cathedral in St. Petersburg, Russia was consecrated, originally commissioned by Elizabeth of Russia. So we all know that these cathedrals take a while and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, but look at this.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Now, that's a sunrise. You can't really tell its actual color, but you
Right.
can see it in the shadows. It's normally blue.
Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see it when the sun's
But with the sun hitting it, it kind of looks gold and everything. But, you know, there's several really good images. This one was really popping. You know?
That's nice, yeah.
I know. But, like, this is the one I ultimately chose just because of, like, you know, and because I
like
do.
the color of it. So
I do
like
too.
it.
I mean, like, look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that almost looks like something out of a video game. You know?
Yeah.
It's almost unreal.
Yeah.
You know?
It looks unreal.
Yeah. There's a person right there. Just see how big it is. Yeah, so, like, that door isn't a normal-sized door that we
No.
see behind the bell.
No.
What else do we got here? We can get rid of that one. In 1859, underarm slow right arm bowler V.E. Walker took 1074 in first innings for an All England Cricket 11 versus Surrey CCC at the Oval in London. 1864, U.S. Civil War, Battle of Atlanta. General Sherman's Union side defeated Confederate troops under General Hood with 8,449 Confederate and 3,641 U.S. casualties. So as in the Battle of Atlanta, Confederate General John Bell Hood led an unsuccessful attack on Union troops under General William Tecumseh Sherman on Bald Hill outside Atlanta. 1880, Abdur Rahman was proclaimed Emir of Afghanistan after having been accepted as ruler by the British. You know? So here's one of the bad things about white people. Why the hell do we have jurisdiction over Afghanistan? You know?
Yeah.
Let the people rule themselves. Eventually they did, so... 1893, Catherine Lee Bates wrote America the Beautiful in Colorado, and it looks to be like a book. Because I was wondering, like, is it a song? Is it a poem? A play? Is it, like, it's a song, right?
Yes, it is. But why do you think it would be a book?
Well, because that looks like a book cover.
Oh,
Does it not?
well, it does.
Yeah. From other sources, it says Catherine Lee Bates wrote America the Beautiful after admiring the view from the top of Pikes Peak near Colorado Springs, Colorado. Yeah.
That's a hell of a view up there.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures from up
But
there.
see, like here, like we have various covers, but yeah, oh beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray. But yeah, it is a poem.
Or purple
Mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. But yeah, no, there's your signature right there,
Yeah.
Catherine Lee Bates.
I don't think it's a book.
No, it's a poem. But
I know.
it got turned into a song.
Yeah.
Very much like the Star Spangled Banner,
Okay.
right? Like
I guess. I don't know the history of that.
we saw a video about it.
I've already forgotten.
Like that's the one with like the battle of with
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like, and
okay.
all the bodies of the patriots
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
the flag
yeah,
up and everything.
yeah,
that was a
yeah.
poem turned into our national anthem. So we
Okay.
have several things
Yeah.
poem, and sung to the tune of a British drinking song, but because, you know, why not? 1894, the first ever motor race was held in France between the cities of Paris and Rouen. The fastest finisher was the Comte Jules Albert de Dion, but the official victory was awarded to Albert Lemieux, driving his 3-horsepower petrol-engined Peugeot.
Someone got burnt. Someone else won.
I know, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You know? Like, the official winner, you know, like...
Yeah.
So... But he won in this, so there it is. 3 horsepower. 3 whole entire horsepower. Sweet, googly moogly. You know, we have a badass over here, you know? Oh. Well, what were you going to say, though?
I don't know.
Oh, well.
Nothing important.
This isn't 3 horsepower. It's a Peugeot, but... What?
Is that a Peugeot?
Apparently. That's what it says right here, Peugeot.
Oh, yeah, Peugeot.
Anyway, 1898, the crew of the Belgian RV Belicia saw the first sunrise in 1,600 hours during the first expedition to endure an Antarctic winter.
Oh, man.
Now, could you imagine being like among the first people to really, like, when was that knowledge? I mean, eventually, somebody at some point had to be the start of it. So, like, can you imagine spending more than a day and it's not rising, and then 2 days, a week, 3 months? You'd think that the world ended, you know, like,
well,
or without the sun going down. You'd think, like, you know, did I go to hell? What's happening? You know, like.
Well, to get there, you're going to realize the days are getting longer and longer and longer, or shorter and shorter and shorter, depending on the season.
True, you know, but I mean.
But how do you get your kids to go to bed? Time to go to bed. Well,
you're not bringing children, you know, on that expedition. But I'm just thinking, like, you know, like even knowing what I do today. Having to go through 1,600 hours of darkness, I think even I will start wigging.
Yeah,
so,
I wouldn't care for that at all.
Yeah. 1901, British House of Lords, in its role as court, ruled trade unions can be sued for actions of its members in tear-fail case. We also have Serbia reactivated diplomatic relations with Montenegro. 1912, in the face of ever-increasing German naval power, the British Admiralty decided to recall British warships from the Mediterranean and base them in the North Sea. We also have the 5th Summer Olympic Games closed at Stockholm Olympia Stadium in Sweden. 1916, a bomb exploded during a Preparedness Day parade in San Francisco, killing 10.
Whoa.
Well, you know, I don't want to take the piss out of their deaths, but clearly they weren't prepared. It was a Preparedness Day parade, and they weren't prepared for a bomb, so clearly they weren't prepared. I mean, you know, rest in peace, you know, but still, like... Yeah, a bomb exploded on Market Street during a parade, killing 10 and injuring 40 people. So other people were injured too, of course. 1917, British bomb German lines at Ypres, 4,250,000 grenades. So I guess this was before they invented bombs. I mean, you just drop grenades, like, you know.
They did hand drop them, yeah.
Yeah. 4 million grenades. Like, just in this one, like, you know, like, campaign alone. Like, how many grenades were used in World War I? I mean, like, we know it's...
but those got to be grenades, not bombs.
It says grenades.
I know.
So I'm thinking, like, you know, like, not necessarily, you know, the pineapples that we know today, but, I mean, you know, a grenade is a grenade. You know, you throw it.
I would think they had bombs before grenades.
But what are grenades?
Grenades are more sophisticated. They're a handheld thing.
No, they're just a small bomb. What makes them sophisticated today is their fragmentation, like the pineapple look. Back even in World War II, and even after that, several countries still use potato mashers, which are just cylinders that blow up, not much strap metal. It's mainly an explosion. Grenades, as we started with the pineapple, use the explosion. That wasn't what killed you. It's the strap metal that did from the explosion.
Of course.
So, anyway,
like getting shot.
Well, yeah. But I'm just like, you know, a grenade is just a small bomb. So if they had bombs, you have to go through a small thing to get a big thing, you know?
True.
So, 1918, lightning killed 504 sheep in Utah's Wasatch National Park. Wow.
504 sheep.
Yikes.
By lightning.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess that's the original shepherd calling him his flock or something. 1919, De Falla and Massenet's 3-cornered hats premiered in London. I want a tricorn. You know what a tricorn is, right?
No.
Like, you know, well, Washington had them, like in the movie, like
okay.
3 corners, tricorn.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's a bicorn, like, you know, that Napoleon had. Like, you know,
yeah.
some people wore it side to side, like Napoleon. Other people wore it like that. And it actually, like, it wasn't just how you wore it. It was designed to be worn that way based off of your rank and everything. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. No, like, bicorn hat, by rank. Okay, right here. See, these are all different. Oh, I don't want that one. Hold on a second. Home image, a new tab. Here we go. Yeah, that's a navy. That's incroyable. That's another navy. These are bicorn, tricorns.
Yeah.
But these are all bicorns. And there's like a half moon here, pointy one, round one. Like you see how like some of them have like this. This is a bicorn, but it looks like it's folded at somewhere. So. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1919, we got that one. 1921, Rif War. The Spanish army suffered its worst military defeat in modern times to the Berbers of the Rif region in Spanish Morocco. Never heard of the Rif War. 1922, Cardinals entered first place, marking the first time both St. Louis teams are on top.
Ah.
Cool. 1923, Washington Senators pitcher Walter Johnson was the first to reach 3,000 career strikeouts, recording 5 in a 3-1 win over the Cleveland Indians. Finishes his career with 3,508 strikeouts. Nice. 26, 1 century ago, 105 degrees Fahrenheit or 41 Celsius, Waterbury, Connecticut, their state record. We have another state record in Troy, New York, at 108 Fahrenheit or 42 Celsius. We also have in Cincinnati, the Reds right fielder Kurt Walker tied National League record of 2 triples in an inning in a 13-1 rout of the Boston Braves. Wow.
You know, so very rarely is there a triple in a game.
Wow.
He hit 2 in an inning.
Dang. 33, Wiley Post completed the first solo flight around the world, taking 7 days and 19 hours. So it's from other source, aviator Wiley Post returned to Floyd Bennett Field in New York City, completing the first solo flight around the world in 7 days, 18 hours, and 49 minutes. So, you know, same information at the last bit right there. But yeah, it's this guy here. It looks like that's the aircraft he was in. 1933, that seems about right.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah. I mean, like, they're climbing aboard his plane for some reason.
You can tell it's around that era because of all the hats.
Now, wait a minute. This says Wiley Post, the first solo flight around the world. He's not flying around the world in that.
No.
You know? That's... No, I'm sorry. Like, yeah. No, most of these are the same aircraft, this big one here, so it has to be that one.
Well, especially in 1933, that was.
Now, I'm seeing something here. He has a patch over his eye, and he has the same patch here.
Ah.
Now, I'm wondering, like, did he only have one eye? Because, like, or were these 2 photographs taken after some accident close together, and he was just doing photo ops? Or is it kind of, because, like, you know, like, the whole, you know, pirates, you know, wear eye patches and everything? That's not necessarily because they got wounded. If you keep one eye in darkness, you know, and, like, let's say, the ship gets boarded, in the daytime or whatever, or something, or for whatever reason, like, it's something to do with, like, keeping one eye in the shade, so, like you can operate in, like, dark and light. Like, if you go under the decks, that's what it is. If you go under the decks, it's dark. So instead of sitting there waiting for your sight to get acclimated in the dark, you just switch your patch, and this is already, so you can just keep on going, you know?
Okay.
Something to do with combat or something. I don't remember the exact explanation how it was said to me. Anyway, 1934, outside Chicago's Biograph Theater, Public Enemy #1, Don Dillinger was mortally wounded by FBI agents. That's killed.
Yeah.
So, 36, Philadelphia Phillies outfielder Johnny Moore hit 3 straight home runs in a 16-4 rout of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Speaking of Pirates, 37, the U.S. Senate rejected FDR's proposal to enlarge the Supreme Court. So during the New Deal, the United States Senate voted down President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's proposal to add more justices to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. 1939, Jane Boleyn became the first black stadium female judge in New York. 1942, Mom's Time. Yeah, we're skipping Mustache Man there. Although we have not a good Mom's Time here. 300 million Jews from the Warsaw Ghetto were sent to Treblinka extermination camp.
300,000.
What did I say? Million?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. My brain's getting cooked, man. This heat is something else.
Well, you got a lot of reading crap to do.
Yeah. 42. The 4th Soviet Army formed with 80 tanks. We also have gasoline was rationed using coupons. You know, this is when it began.
Yeah.
The United States government began compulsory civilian gasoline rationing due to wartime demands. Okay, so
And they didn't need it. At least in the U.S., they didn't. But they wanted everybody to feel like they were participating.
Ah, okay.
They
Or
had plenty of gas.
or were they just trying
And food
to
rationing, I think they started doing.
or were they trying to normalize us peasants having nothing and being happy with it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it starts. I mean, like, think about it. Like, our government's supposed to be our representatives. Then they go to war, like, you know, and then all of a sudden now we have to pay for it. Like, it's their decision. They should go fight the war. They should be on the front lines. You know, if they're making those decisions, they need to back it up.
Now,
you know,
having said that, I realized 42, my parents still would have been in Canada. So the stories I told maybe was Canada's situation.
Huh.
Plenty of food, plenty of gas. I don't know. But rationing.
42 as well. Transport number 9 departed Drancy, France, with 996 French Jews sent to Auschwitz concentration camp. 7 will survive until the war's end.
Oh, man.
Well, that's better than 6, but not as good as 8. You know. 43. U.S. forces led by General George S. Patton liberated Palermo, Sicily, and was good old Monty mad. You know what? Hold on a second. Not this one here. Not this one. I want this one. Let's see here. Patton, Palermo. Let's see if I can actually find the scene. Like, boy, was Monty mad. Like,
Our history does not treat Monty well.
yeah, he was an idiot. He's an absolute pompous douche, man. Yeah, this is yes.
Yeah.
There's like the United States went all the way around the entire island because Monty, he wanted the glory. His plan, and because he played the politics and everything, he got what he wanted. He was literally using us as meat shields so he can get the glory. So not only were we the meat shields, but we went all the way around the entire island and captured the city before he could only go like 1/3 of the distance that we went. He was inept.
Patton.
Yeah, well, not just Patton. Monty was inept. He had no right to be anywhere near any position of authority, and he needlessly got thousands, tens of thousands of people killed. Operation Market Garden was one of the greatest blunders in World War II, and that's because we didn't give the gas to Patton to march on Berlin. Monty wanted to go up into the Netherlands for whatever the hell reason, and ended up failing. Wasted all that gas, wasted all those people. Monty's a piece of shit. We don't slam on him hard enough, in my opinion, in our history.
Now, am I right? Because it's different today, obviously, but then England was the leader. We were the subordinate. Would you say that's accurate? As far as military decisions, it may have changed as the war progressed.
Well, one of us was the Supreme Allied Commander, Eisenhower.
Yeah, that's true.
The shoe really was on the other foot.
True.
That's
true.
And actually, we saw that in Pressure. Remember the guy screaming, like, there is no 16th. None. Remember that guy? In Pressure, the Brendan Fraser movie?
Yeah.
And, like, he was asking, like, okay, well, if not the 5th, when?
Yeah.
And the guy's screaming and everything.
Yeah.
That's Monty. That was Monty. And he played a really good portrayal of him being a freaking raving lunatic. But hold up, Pressure Monty. Let's see if I can find it. Remember this guy?
Yeah. I do. No.
That guy. That's supposed to be Monty. He's an absolute dingleberry. So
I'd like to see that movie again.
I would too.
Wouldn't go to the theater, but I'd like to see it again.
Yeah. 1944, during World War II, Axis occupation forces violently dispersed a massive protest in Athens, killing 22. Soviets set up Polish Committee of National Liberation. So the Polish Committee of National Liberation published its manifesto starting the period of communist rule in Poland. Loon's time. 1946, this is really not good. Menachem begins. Remember that guy? was a former Prime Minister of Israel. This is before
Oh,
Israel.
Menachem Begin.
Yeah. Oh, Begin. Okay. His Zionist military group, Irgun, bombed the King David Hotel in Jerusalem, the British administrative headquarters for Palestine, killing 91 people of various nationalities and injuring 46. And why did he become the Prime Minister of Israel? Well, after this action, he really, fits the role well. So, another source says King David Hotel bombing is Zionist underground organization. The Irgun bombed the King David Hotel in Jerusalem, cited the civil administration and military headquarters for mandatory Palestine, resulting in 91 deaths. He's trying to pave the way for Israel. So, 47, we have -8 degrees Fahrenheit or -22 Celsius. Charlotte Pass in New South Wales, Australian record low temperature. That is low, -8.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's winter for them down there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, their thing is opposite. So, when it's Santa and snow up here, it's
These
boogie
ain't board
boarding.
shorts.
Yeah, it's boogie boarding in
Yeah.
sandcastles down there.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even think it does not get hot I don't think they have a winter. So, well, I mean they do, -8. So,
Yeah.
1950, King Leopold returned to Belgium after 6 years in exile. 51, Soviet space dogs Dezik and Tsagan were launched into a suborbital spaceflight from Kapustin Yar and became the first dogs to fly in space and the first to safely return. Time out. Wrong. There was one dog, at least one, that was the first animal in space ever.
Okay.
There was that one dog before this.
Yeah. If you say so.
Well,
I don't know.
I think so. Hold on a second.
I don't
First dog in space.
know.
Yeah, Laika. Now wait a minute. This can't be right. Is this 19? It's supposed to be 51.
What does it say?
This says 54. Soviet dog first animal to orbit Earth. 54 to 57.
To orbit Earth, not necessarily in space.
Oh. Okay. Well then, I will get rid of my entire scathing, thing there. 1952, Poland adopted communist-imposed constitution. We already covered that, although that was 1 year before, or was it? Huh? We just covered that. When was it? Okay. Oh, 1944. Okay. 1954, U.S. Virgin Islands adopted constitution, revised Organic Act. Let's look that up here really. Well, you know what? We're getting a little low on time, so I'm going to keep on up. If anybody though wants to look this up here, this 54.
Yeah, let us know.
You know what? I'm just gonna do this here really quick. Search. Come on. There we go. Okay. Just gonna throw this in here. For us here, revised Organic Act. I kind of like reversed my decision there. The revised Organic Act provides for a unicameral, a single-body legislature of 11, later 15 members elected by the residents of the U.S. Virgin Islands. While this legislature largely creates the laws that govern islands, the ultimate laws that govern are still those of the U.S. Congress, a body in which Virgin Islanders have no votes. I don't like that. That's taxation without representation. So, okay, we got to, I hope they changed it. So, 55, Philadelphia Phillies defeated the St. Louis Cardinals 5-3 to complete a team record 11-game winning streak, longest win streak since 1892. Wow. 55 as well, Richard Nixon became the first U.S. Vice President to preside over a cabinet meeting. 59, Ed Wood's cult classic Plan 9 from Outer Space, often called one of the worst films ever, premiered starring Gregory Walcott and Bela Lugosi. 1959 as well.
Bela Lugosi. Yeah, not old-time actor.
Plan 9 from Outer Space. Yeah, I've heard about it. Apparently it was terrible. But at least it's not that one, was it 92 science fiction movie? Like, it's a really bad name. Like,
I don't know.
I don't even like, it's
Don't worry about it.
It's Gay N-Word from Outer Space is the name of the movie. I'm not kidding. And the plot used to be wild, but it's about extraterrestrials coming here and subverting the world's government and upholding, certain things and everything. And it's more or less like exactly what's happening in real life now. So I have a feeling it was actually warning us, decades before the plan was actually going to. So I don't know. 59, natural gas found at Slooshem, Groningen, Netherlands. Sounds like they need some freedom. Oh, you have gas? So you have some freedom. Actually, that reminds me. Hold on a second. Key oil. see if I can find it. Here it is. This is perfect. Hold on a second. Where is it? What?
Newly discovered oil reserve.
Oil? Excuse me 1 second. Operation Golden Eagle is a go. Welcome to democracy.
Sounds like they need some oil.
Yeah.
Or some freedom. 1960, Cuba nationalized all U.S.-owned sugar factories.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No.
62, first U.S. Venus probe, Mariner 1, failed at liftoff. So during the Mariner program, Mariner 1 spacecraft flew erratically several minutes after launch and had to be destroyed. I do have the video of it. So we have right here, it shows the launch. And, like, can you see it okay right here in the preview?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm trying to show it really quick. It shows it goes up and then it starts going down. There is no explosion. It just peters out. It just, so they somehow destroyed it, but I guess like not in an explosion somehow. So, what was this? Mariner 1. So I'll throw this video in here if anybody wants to watch this. What else we got here? 1962 as well. Chicago White Sox outfielder Floyd Robinson went 6 for 6, all singles, as WS defeated Boston Red Sox 7-3 at Fenway Park. 63 in their second clash, Sony Liston once again knocks out Floyd Patterson in round 1 at the Convention Center in Las Vegas to retain the World Heavyweight Boxing title. I said get down,
I remember that. He had such a big mouth on him.
Floyd Patterson?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Patterson. I'm jumping into play. Yeah, Patterson.
Huh.
Patterson was a real small.
He's a boxing
heavyweight.
cowboy.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
really small heavyweight.
Yeah. 63 as well, Sarawak achieved independence from British colonial rule. Well, the Crown colony of Sarawak gained self-governance. Cool. 67, first major appearance by Vanilla Fudge, Vanilla Theater, or Village Theater, New York City. Who?
Vanilla Fudge? A rock group.
I thought it was some singer or something. So it's a whole group.
They are a singer, yeah.
Well, it's a group, not a singular. I thought it was some weird stage name or something.
You probably know some of their music. I can't think of any of it right offhand.
Vanilla Fudge. Huh. 67 as well, Atlanta Braves established MLB record of number of pitchers called upon in one inning, 5 used in the 9th inning of 5-4 defeated to St. Louis Cardinals. Wow, they were just really a swing and a miss right there. 1968, Sir John Newsom recommended public schools should take 50% of their intake from the state school system. Okay. 1969 as well, Aretha Franklin was arrested for disorderly conduct following a traffic accident in Highland Park, Michigan. Charges were later dropped. 72, 10.84 inches or 27.53 centimeters of rainfall for Ripley, Minnesota, state 24-hour record. 2 Catholics were abducted, beaten, and shot dead in a loyalist area of Belfast. Venera 8 made soft landing on Venus. That's pretty big right there. 1975, the U.S. House of Representatives voted to restore citizenship to General Robert E. Lee. That guy...
Posthumously, obviously.
Yeah. That guy was really between a rock and a hard place. Like, he was fighting for his states, not for the Confederate ideas.
Fair enough.
He did not support slavery, actually. I believe I can see that for certain,
I
because
didn't know that.
I watched something and it said that even though he had slaves, he had a whole plantation and everything.
He was loyal to his state or country.
Yeah, but he was not, necessarily loyal to the beliefs of what he was fighting for.
Right.
He was just fighting for his land.
Yeah.
So. 76, Japan completed its last reparation to the Philippines for war crimes committed during Imperial Japan's conquest of the country in the Second World War.
They're pretty vicious.
Yeah. 1977, Stiff Records released by Aim Is True, the debut album by British rockers Elvis Costello and the Attractions in the UK, produced by Nick Lowe. 1981, Turkish terrorist Mehmet Ali Akka was sentenced to life imprisonment in a court in Rome, Italy. 81 as well, the first game of the 1981 South Africa Rugby Union Tour of New Zealand and the United States was held in Gisborne, New Zealand. All right. We also have Academic Text Processing Service formed in Seattle. What is that? Academic Text Processing Service? I'm not getting anything here. Why am I getting a link directly to Google? That's weird. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
83, Australian pilot Dick Smith made first solo helicopter flight around the world.
Wow.
That's an epic helicopter. You know, those things can't go fast, but they're not as fast as an airplane. You know.
Going across the Atlantic and Pacific, that's...
Yeah. I mean, maybe island hopping.
Well, yeah, you gotta find...
Refuel, you
Yeah.
know. Well, I guess that's what he did. He
Look
like
at
to
that.
take a break.
I don't think he's refueling there.
No, but like how? That's one heck of a good touchdown, though.
Yeah,
You know, that's a very small area to land on,
very small.
especially like with the change in elevation. If he was off by like 15 more degrees,
Well, what I worry about is wind.
that too, yeah. Especially with wind hitting the rock all of a sudden,
Yeah.
sudden upstream, you know.
Yeah.
1983 as well, MLB California Angels outfielder Brian Downing's error ended his record streak at 244 games.
I remember him.
Ah. 83 as well, Polish Prime Minister Wojciech Jaruzelski lifted martial law after 19 months. Cool. 1986, U.S. House of Representatives impeached Judge Harry E. Claiborne for tax evasion. Ayo's time. Gonna get through my life in 10 minutes.
No.
1987, Said Aouta Morocco set a 5K record at 12 minutes 58.39 seconds in Rome. Soyuz TM-3 launched with 3 cosmonauts, one of which was Syrian. The U.S. began escorting reflagged Kuwaiti tankers in Persian Gulf. 1988, 500 U.S. scientists pledged to boycott Pentagon germ warfare research. 1990, Greg LeMond, a Stadion road racing cyclist, won his 3rd Tour de France after leading the majority of the race. It was LeMond's 2nd consecutive Tour de France victory.
I remember him.
Excellent, yeah.
Greg LeMond.
Yeah. Isn't there like a brand Le Mans or something? Like,
That I don't know.
or am I thinking of like the race, the Le Mans, or
Yeah,
the something?
you're thinking of the Le Mans,
Oh.
not Le Mans.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
a big race.
is that the endurance one?
Yeah, but it's an auto race.
Yeah. 91, Jeffrey Dahmer confessed to killing 17 men in 1978. Yee. 92, Colombian drug lord Pablo Escobar escaped prison, his luxury prison. He was a Colombian drug lord. Actually, I'll just read the secondary article here. Near Medellin, a Colombian drug lord, Pablo Escobar, escaped from his luxury prison, fearing extradition to the United States.
Yeah.
94, 23rd and last part of Comet Schumacher-Levy hit Jupiter, have been doing so since July 16th. So we've covered this practically every day for 6 days now, yeah. 16th to 22nd, that'd be 6 days. The comet breaking up
Yeah.
and then hitting it in chunks. 93, the Great Flood of 1993, levees near Kashikaiyaka, Illinois, ruptured, forcing the entire town to evacuate by barges operated by the Army Corps of Engineers. Wow.
Why do you have 93 after 94?
I think I misput it there. So thank you for pointing that out. I did not see that. But wow, look at the images of this flooding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yikes. I'm trying to find the barges here. That's just the Coast Guard on a boat. I'm trying to see if they have... well, there's something right there. That looks like barges that they're loading people up. Oh. 1994, we got that one. 94 as well. Former NFL running back broadcaster and actor O.J. Simpson pled, quote, absolutely 100% not guilty, end quote, of murder. Well, let's see here. O.J. Simpson book. Right here, it says, I did it. He confessed. It says
but then in little print it says something else.
that's to skate. That's to skate away from it.
Yeah.
But he's trying to confess without actually confessing, so he can clear his conscience.
And he's trying to sell books.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
He's trying to sell books.
Based off of the murder of his wife.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yes, he is. I'll agree with that.
So-
I won't argue that at all.
Yeah. 1995, Susan Smith found guilty of drowning her 2 children in South Carolina.
Oh, I remember that.
Yep. Oh, what was
They left
this?
him in the car or something?
This was that car, the auto race.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out his huge.
3 whopping horse.
Yeah. 97, One Piece, world's best-selling manga and comic series, written and illustrated by Aishiro Oda, first appears serialized in Weekly Shonen Jump in Japan. It was in Shonen Jump. That's pretty cool. One Piece has over 1,000 some odd episodes. It's still going to this
Really?
day. They're still making new shit.
Wow.
To this day, based off of the manga. Let's see here. One Piece. episode count. A lot of people have told me, like, oh, you should get into One Piece. You should get into One Piece. I'll be like, no, it has 1,170 episodes.
Oh.
I have a life to live.
Yeah.
Not to watch a fictional life of some stupid kid who ate a rubber fruit and got all elastic, you know? So, what else we got here? 97, fire broke out at Palais des Chaliot in Paris during renovations, damaging the Museum of Monuments and Museum of Cinema. Yikes, that's not good.
Wow.
So, let me look this up here really quick. So it's right here. Apparently a fire somewhere around here. No, but this is under the Louvre. That's not the pyramid.
There.
No, that's not under the Louvre. This is rounded. That's not. That's something else.
That looked like a pyramid.
No, you can see it's rounded right here.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like that. No, I was looking up at the sky.
But this is the Louvre.
It's a pyramid. Yeah.
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 This is
it really enlightens it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It really lights that, but that's only the foyer.
Yeah, no, this is just a skylight or something. But that's what the pyramid at the Louvre is. But it's much bigger. You can see, you know.
Well, the whole structure around is massive.
Oh yeah, well it's the Palace of Versailles.
Yeah, but you don't go in any of that. You just go in the Louvre.
Well, not the Palace of the Versailles, the Palace of the Louvre.
Yeah, the Palace of Versailles.
Something else.
I've been to too.
Yeah. Well, I mean
that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's the same kind of style, big, huge, buildings and all that stuff. 97, Atlanta Braves pitcher Greg Maddow threw a complete game with just 78 pitches in a 4-1 win over the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. 97 as well, the first shipments of oil produced from Kazakhstan's Tengiz field arrived at terminals on the Black Sea for subsequent export through the Bosphorus Strait. 2002, Israel assassinated Salah Shahidin, the commander-in-chief of Hamas's military arm, the Izz ad-Din al-Qassam brigades, along with 14 civilians. Like, this is why I keep saying, Israel, they're murderous, warmongering, bloodthirsty, conquerors. They're just killing people indiscriminately. 2003, members of the U.S. 101st Airborne, aided by special forces, attacked a compound in Mosul, Iraq, killing Uday Hussein and Qusay Hussein, the sons of Saddam Hussein, along with Mustafa Hussein, Qusay's 14-year-old son, and a bodyguard. Well, by 14, he can lift an AK, so it has to be put down. 2005, Jean Charles de Menezes was killed by police as the hunt began for the London bombers. So other source says Jean Charles de Menezes was killed by police as the hunt began for the London bombers responsible for the July 17th, 2005 London bombings and the July 21st, so July 7th, not 17th, so July 7th and July 21st London bombings. So they waited 14 days between the two. That's wild. 2011, Norway was the victim of twin terror attacks, a bomb blast targeting government buildings in central Oslo, and a massacre at a youth camp in the island of IOYO. 2012, at least 70 people were killed by torrential rain in Beijing, China. Hashim Amala smashed 311 not out in South Africa's inning and 12-run first test win over England at the Oval, the first South African to score a triple century in Test cricket. 2013, 89 people were killed and 500 injured by earthquakes in the province of Gansu, China. 2013 as well, Mike Babcock was again named head coach of Team Canada, this time for the 2014 Winter Olympics. They would repeat as gold medalists. Why does that name sound familiar, Babcock?
It did to me, too. I don't know.
Like some politician or something?
I don't know, but I said, where do I know that name from? Exactly what I thought.
Babcock. Let's see here.
I don't know.
Babcock International. It's not telling me anything. Babcock. Mike Babcock?
That's who we're
This is
talking
the
about.
guy we just spoke about.
I don't know. Just sounded familiar.
Maybe we're having a Mandela effect. 2014, both the United Arab Emirates and the USA announced aid packages to besiege Gaza. Besiege Gaza. Who's besieging them? European Union claimed that Israel, quote, has the right to defend itself, end quote, but says civilian casualties in Gaza are unacceptable. 2014 as well, news broadcaster Al Jazeera claimed that his office in Gaza is under attack by the Israeli Defense Force. And I'm just, these are just one after another, man.
I got it, but they don't have any reference to what happened to get the Israelis up and fighting.
Maybe they just started killing indiscriminately.
No, you don't know. You don't know your history.
I don't. I'm not saying I do.
The Palestinians flew in on little winged motorcycle types. They came in and they killed thousands at a rock concert.
That's
And
terrible.
killed babies and everything
That's
else.
terrible, but what drove them to do that?
You got to keep going.
Cause and effect.
But
Well,
you're just saying this is all horrible. But they don't
is it
mention-
not?
Yes, it is. So is the attacks. War is horrible.
I'm not trying to paint one side or the other. Like both sides are terrible. But there's a start to all of this. And once you go after the head of the snake, the body dies. You know,
the start is
1948.
creating,
Yeah.
a Jewish
Well,
state.
well, take it back.
A
You
little
know?
late for that.
No, it's not. No. In 2015, oldest Quran fragments are discovered in the collection of Birmingham University, with radiocarbon testing them to 568 to 645 AD. So so common era and all that stuff. Let's look this image search this here really quick. Look at that. Like 1,500 years old roughly.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
In 2016, Japan's Funai Electric announced it will manufacture the world's last video cassette this month. Single
Video
tear rolls
cassette.
down my eye. I have my whole collection. I got to donate. 2017, 10 people died in an overheated tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas, in a human trafficking incident.
Yeah.
Thanks, Obama. 2017 as well, South African Governor Brandon Grace recorded lowest round of a men's major championship, 62 in third round at British Open, Royal Birkdale, England. That's golf.
Yes.
62
yes,
strokes.
It is. That's
28
really a low score.
Yeah. 2018, a heat wave in Japan killed 11 people in one day. Yikes. We also have Israeli military and allies evacuated over 400 white helmet Syrian rescue workers from its border with Syria to Jordan. 2018 as well, Seattle basketball guard, try to say basketball. Basketball guard Sue Bird played her record 500th WNBA game as the Storm went down 87-74 to the Atlanta Dream, finished her career with 508 games for Seattle.
Oh.
That sounds pretty good. 2018, the TV show Supergirl announced casting of first live-action transgender superhero by transgender actor Nicole Maines as Nia Now. So it's Superman, then. I mean, it seems to always work one way with these people. You don't hear stories about females transitioning into males and dominating the field. It always goes one way. And it's taking things away from actual real women. Trans rights do not supersede actual, women's rights. But they seem to, for whatever reason. I don't know why. It's as if actual women are now second or third class citizens to people who decide to just cut off a part of their body. It's sick. These people need to be put into a freaking mental asylum. 2018, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Iran in all caps tweet of consequences in response to a speech by Iranian President Hassan Rouhani. I gotta look up this. Consequences, all caps. Like, oh my god. To Iranian President Rouhani, never, ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious! Does that not sound like the jammerings of a psychopath? In all caps? Really? What are you, a 16-year-old girl, dude? Come on. But speaking of consequences...
Then I got sucked into a wormhole. Consequences? That's...
What the heck was that?
That was Key and Peele. That's the consequences skit.
Oh.
So, 2019, airstrikes have killed at least 31 people in Maharat al-Numan, northwestern Syria, with Russian planes supporting Syrian government being blamed. French submarine Minerve was rediscovered off the coast of Toulon, France, after disappearing in 1968 with loss of 52 crew. Wow. So they found her.
But they didn't tell us why it went down, or
Well,
why.
maybe they figured it out. That's in French. So, I'm gonna look this up to see if it tells us right here. French submarine Minerve. Description: service history lost. They're traveling just beneath the surface of the Gulf of Leon using her snorkel, roughly 25 nautical miles from her base in Toulon. when she advised an accompanying Virga Atlantic aircraft that she would be at her berth in about an hour. This proved to be the last time the boat and her crew, 6 officers, yada yada.
They don't know.
The French Navy launched a search, a struggle of the families for the truth. Never had a problem. The only plausible cause for her sinking was the weather, which was extremely bad at the time of her loss. So it might have been weather. So
Usually submarines go down and you're pretty oblivious to it.
yeah.
Kind of. Not
Let's
necessarily.
see, French submarine minority. All right. 2019 as well, India's lunar mission Chandrayaan-2 successfully took off from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, aiming to be the 4th nation to soft land on the moon. Dude. Other source, other source said the Chandrayaan-2, the second lunar exploration mission developed by Indian Space Research Organization, after Chandrayaan-1 was launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center in a GSLV Mark III M1. It consisted of a lunar orbiter and also included the Bertram lander and the Peregrine lunar rover. So it sounds like India is getting ready to, yes. But they're going to land without people, though? Like, I guess proof of concept, but what's the purpose of building a whole rover? Not for, I guess maybe later they get it from the thing? I don't know.
Well, they didn't say that there was without people, without astronauts. They didn't say one way or another.
True. I wonder if they're aiming for the moon. Well, obviously they are, but like, you know, but like, we haven't heard anything in 7 years. At least I haven't.
We haven't, but we don't pay attention to India. Like,
if someone's going to the moon, you're going to pay attention to them. Like,
yeah, we would pay attention, but it's not big newsworthy for us because a lot of people have been to the moon.
well, not
But
well.
I agree. I'm surprised
I mean,
I
like,
haven't heard about it.
China did a thing where they went around the far side of the
Yeah.
moon,
So
and actually, I think they
somebody landed on it.
They know China landed on it autonomously. They didn't have people, but they have like bots, rovers or whatever.
Okay.
But then we went around in the Artemis or whatever it was recently. But like I knew of the China thing, and I don't really follow that stuff. But
No, I don't either. So I'm not shocked that I haven't heard about it. But also, when they land, there's no communication from the dark side of the moon.
true. 2019 as well, Marvel superhero film Avengers Endgame became the world's highest grossing film, overtaking Avatar and earning $2.9 billion. And I think it was discovered that all that was lies recently, like a year or so ago. Like the majority of all the stuff that Disney and Marvel were saying, all their box office numbers, like it was at least 2 times, if not more, like more than the actual number.
Okay.
Like so, they're straight
I've
up.
never seen Avatar.
There's Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then there's James Cameron's Avatar. I think I don't know if it's James Cameron, but it's about blue people and it's
I've seen.
it's very
blue people.
woke. It's very woke. So, 2019 as well, NFL Dallas Cowboys named most valuable sports team in the world, worth $5 billion, which is very weird to go because you know that star, the Dallas Cowboys, that one star, that's not their logo, that's their rating. They suck. So I don't know
they're from the Lone Star State, huh?
Yeah. I'm making a joke. No.
I know.
MLB New York Yankees at the second at 4.6 billion. Real Madrid was third, 4.2 billion according to Forbes. 2020, California passed New York total for Kung flu cases at 415,763 versus 415,094, though New York death toll much higher. Fearmonger. 2020, Kim Kardashian asked for understanding of her husband. Kanye West struggles with his bipolar disorder on Instagram. Nobody cares about that guy. Like, he did a song.
Not her either.
Well, yeah. Well, she's a freaking streetwalker. But she is. But Kanye West, he's a literal he did a song praising Nazism. The guy's nut. So. 2021, U.S. adds another pivotal point in this pandemic, in quote, said CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky, as the Delta variant became dominant. Fearmonger. 2022, Draupadi Murmu was the first tribal politician to be elected president of India, head of state without executive powers. 2023, Taylor Swift concert in Seattle shook the ground so hard it registered as the equivalent to a magnitude 2.3 earthquake and did the same the following night. Well, because she's casting spells. She's a Satanist. She's a witch, Taylor Swift. No? Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady, The Coup de Grace, was his 11th album to reach #1, replacing Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department after 12 weeks at the top. Another Satanist, Eminem. 2024, Israeli airstrikes on southern city of Khan Yunis in Gaza killed at least 70 people after Israel ordered an evacuation of part of a designated humanitarian zone. Well, here we go again. Look at that. Israel just indiscriminately firing stuff into, populated areas, killing people left, right, and center, and just saying, oh, well, we had reason to believe that there is a tunnel there, so we just blew up everybody. Yeah, that solves the problem. 2024, U.S. Postal Service issued a commemorative postage stamp honoring Alex Trebek, longtime host of TV quiz show Jeopardy in Culver City, California. Yeah, good old Keeper Zella.
So he died sometime.
Well, yeah, he died a while ago, unfortunately. Oh, wow. Huh. This naturalized U.S. citizen hosted the quiz show Jeopardy for 37 seasons. Dude, isn't that awesome? That's the stamp. It comes in the form of a question from the board.
Okay.
This naturalized U.S. citizen hosted the quiz show Jeopardy for 37 seasons.
Yeah.
Who is Alex Trebek?
Yeah.
Isn't that clever?
Cool. That's great.
That is awesome. Oh, I wish I had seen that before. That would have so been in the thumbnail. Man. 2024, we have the hottest day on Earth. Average global temperature was 17.15 Celsius, or 62.87 Fahrenheit, surpassing records set the previous day, according to EU's Copernicus Climate Change Service. So fearmonger, fearmonger, fearmonger. More of this crap. 2025, just this time last year, we have the first major anti-government protest took place across Ukraine since the beginning of the war after President Volodymyr Zelensky signed a law placing 2 anti-corruption agencies under the control of the Prosecutor General. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. These links will appear about 10 minutes or so after the end of the live stream. Anyway, a lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis, and we can only bring you a portion between 2 sources. In this hour and 10 some odd minutes, we have gone through all 29 pages of our documents. We got through it, guys. What's the code word to let us know that they're still watching up to this point?
Hey.
How about hot day?
Hot day.
Hot day. Put a hot day in the comments section. Let us know that you're still watching. Just doing a quick scan to see if there's any comments. Nope. All right. Anyway, where's my script? I'm tabbing through every freaking document here. Let's see here. For your dose of past events daily, we stream at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And you are you. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles! And click here. And click here.